So we are going to be building a simple calculator, and this is kind of going to be an automated calculator. This is one of the sample projects that we'll be building using the previous knowledge that we've gained in the lecture. Now I quickly inputted this data here, or we have the different items here, and then we have the total cost, amount paid, the change, and then we have the unit price for each of those items, and then we have the quantity purchased, and then we also have the price here. All right, so quickly I'm going to format this by, for example, I'm going to be making the background of this. I should be changing the background here to, let's quickly add a style to it. For example, you can add a style here, you can add another style. We have styles here, different styles. Okay, let's say we are to select this style here, then I'm going for a deeper color here. For example, I'm going with this color here, and then for the change I'll be using green. Let's see if there is going to be a deep green here. If there is no deep green, I think we can even create new cell style. All right, you can create a new cell style, give it a name, then format it here, and then we have options to input a fill here. All right, but the other way of creating fill here is just to go to here, then let's find the green that we are looking for. So we can pick this green, and then we change the color here to white. So whichever one you want to use is still okay. Then we can select the whole of this, and then let's give it a blue something like this. So, and as well, we can even select the whole text and change the font style. We can change it to, there's a font style called the Futura. Okay, so let's go with this font style. So this is going to be an automated calculator, and using the different functions and the different formulas we've learned, we are going to build that calculator here right now in front of us. So this is a live calculator we are building. Right, now looking at this, we have the quantity purchase column here, quantity purchased, right? So there's a D there, and then we have the price here. Okay, now for us to do, we are going to apply a conditional formatting that we learned the other time. Sorry to say, a data validation actually, because this calculator would allow users to input values themselves, and we have to restrict the kind of or data they are putting in, right? This is not, we are not to put text here, so you can't type ABC, right? And you can't type decimal. Quantity have to be whole numbers, and then we are going to make them apply numbers greater than 0. So for us to do that, we have to highlight the whole cells, right? So you can either highlight the whole cells or pick one, and then later on you drag to the end of this cell. Then let's go to data tab, and then go to data validations. So at data validations, under settings, click on any value that is whole number. We are going to allow whole numbers. Instead of us to use between, we are going to be using greater than, then the minimum value is going to be greater than 0. So anything 0, we are not going to allow it here. So from 1 and above, we allow it here. So what happens is that you click on OK. Now, having done that, we still have to format this particular column here. All right, because we want the values here to be centralized and then aligned to middle, centralized and then aligned to middle. Okay, and then also for the price here, we are also going to format this particular cell. Okay, let's also apply, let's make this cell, let's align this cell also to this color. So let's select this color, and then for the amount paid, okay, let's pick, I think that was this color, and then for the change, we fill this, and then we use the text to be white. So for this, we're also going to use white text. We format this to have white text as well. And now we're also going to format the column here to be centralized, right? Line to center, and then centralize this line to middle. Okay. So then thereafter, we start writing our formulas. There are formulas we are going to be inputting here, right? Because the price, the values here is equal to the quantity which is purchased multiplied by the different pricing. Now, I'm going to be populating this data here, the unit prices for the items, all right? We have, for example, we are going to a store, let's say a mall, a shopping mall. Each of these items should have their default or constant pricing depending on your economy, all right? So that's what basically I'm going to be doing now. So how are we going to get the values here, or what did I just do now? So this is what I did. I clicked on the cell, and then I'll type the unit price for that cell. Let's say, for example, for the beverage, the unit price is 20, and we are going to be working with dollars. So click on the cell. Now you have to convert these cells to is in general. If you check out the number, he's in general. All right, is either you go here or you still click on here, format numbers. Instead of generals, we are going to convert it to currency. All right, so let's click on OK. Now you can as well as click on the symbols here, and we are working with dollars. So we have, I think that should be United States dollars here. So click on OK, and you can also click on here, right? There's a symbol here, there's a sign here, accounting number format. So just go to accounting number format and click on this English here. It's going to push the dollar to here. Now you can do the same to all of these cells. Just drag to the last, and then we can start changing the values. So the next one is going to be 30. All right, let's make it 30 here, 30. The next one, let's make it 40. Let's just say here is going to be, let's use 70 for butter. Let's just use 30 here. So these are just dummy values. Bread, I'll be using 25. Semovita, let's use 80. Wheat, maybe one bag of wheat flour. Let's say 75. Then for drink, depending on the number of drinks, right? But for the units, let's say the unit is 15 here. And then for Milo, let's leave Milo at 20. Now we've actually populated this data. All right. And for the price, this is where we are going to input our formula. Remember that the quantity we have nothing, we've not inputted anything at the moment. So we have to write our formula for the price. So let's start putting the formulas here. So the formula is going to be equal sign, the unit price here, this is going to be cell B2, and then multiply by this, your asterisk, multiply by this cell. All right, then hit your enter button. You can see what happens here. So just press here and drag it to the last. And the next thing for us to do is, let's just say we are putting here, let's say the quantity that was purchased, let's say for the drinks, and let's say we have about 6. So we have price here, 6 times this is going to give us this value. All right. All right, so if you notice what I did some times ago, I actually dragged the whole of this formula to here, and that's not basically what we are going to be doing. So I'm going to be deleting the formulas here. Okay, I wouldn't want to use that formula for here. So why I'm saying that is that we are basically going to carry out different calculation. For example, for here we are looking at the total cost of all the prices here. And so what we have to do is either we use the sum function or we use the formulas by adding all of these cells. But I think the easiest one for us to use is the summation function, SUM. Open your bracket and then drag all the values from here, and then close your brackets and hit enter. All right, so let's delete this first. So we don't have anything here. We don't have any value here. And then we have the amount paid. Okay, this is the amount the customer is paying, and then the change should be the amount the person paid, let's say minus the total cost of the item. All right, so now looking at these files, let me first clear all this. All right, so I paused the video to carry out some stuff. All right, so let's clear out all this. Now, what he basically did here was to find the total cost, and the total cost is actually summation of all this. And then the next thing to do is to find the change, and the change is going to be this. That's the amount paid minus the total cost, right? We are coming to address these issues because sometimes you are going to be carrying out calculations and then you have negative signs here. we are going to address that. But let's quick first look at something here. Now we have the unit prices of these items. Okay, for example, these are all constant price. Let's take for example that we are working for a company, we are managing the sales data of a company, and then you have these unit prices, and you may not want people to just come there, maybe employers, other employers that may tamper with adjusting the unit of this, right? But you as this maybe a sales rep, you have been given access to change or update the prices for the unit price of an item on the store. Now, you may need to have consider maybe protecting this or locking this sheet so nobody can come here to change the drink name or changing the prices of all this. So for you to do that, you've already covered protecting sheets. Okay, now what we want to do is to to lock these cells. All right, you're going to be locking these cells and then unlocking the entire sheet. So for us to do that, we said that we first have to do what? Let's check the whole. So the first thing you have to do is to first of all highlight the whole cells, the entire sheet, and then right click, go to format cells, protection, and then make sure you uncheck this locked. And then what you have to do next is to select the cells you want to lock, all of them, and then right click, go to format cells, and then protection, make sure you lock it. Okay, and then go to your sheets, right click, protect sheet, then let's give it a password 123. Okay, and then confirm password 123. So as you can see, we can't really make changes to these values here. We can't really make changes to these are constant units. All right, so let's begin to populate this data. Now let's put here values of 5, quantity purchase 6. Say we have 3 here, and then we have bread. Let's say 2 loaves of bread, or the semovita, just a bag of it. And then we are already having a summation of let's say this should be about 500. And let's say we have another quantity of let's say for drinks we have about 20 bottles of the drink, and so we are having the values of 800. Now why we are having the negative sign here is that we've not even paid money already, so we are owing money. So for you to cancel this, please just put let's say we have about 1300. Right, so this is going to be the change. Now we may have situations where let's say the total cost here is higher than the amount that we've paid. Now that's why we saw negative. So for us to cancel that, for us to solve that, we have to work on this by using conditional statement, the if function. All right, so let's continue. So let's first of all clear this formula there, and then let's use the if function here. Then what is going to be the logical test? Now what we are going to be doing is that if the amount paid is higher than the total cost, then let's say if this cell, this is amount paid, is greater than, all right, if it's greater than, then the total cost here. Now it says what is the value if it's true. Now the value is true is going to be obviously amount paid is greater than this. So we are going to be making cell D13 minus cell D12. All right, so that's going to be the value if it is true. Then after that, remember that the next thing that is going to come is going to be, you can add another if condition, right, using a comma, or we say open a bracket. If we have this, okay, if this is equal to this, so what are we going to display here? You can put something like there is no change, because all right, you are giving me 800, like I'm paying 800, I'm giving you 800 naira, so there is no change here. So let's just write here no change. Right, these are custom values that we are putting in. Then put a comma. Then otherwise, like else condition. So what is the value if it is false? Now we are going to use let's say something like insufficient fund. Let's use small letter, insufficient efficient funds. Okay, now we close a bracket, close another bracket, right? So I think that is all. Now you notice what happens. Let's say that we happen to delete this. Let's say we happen to delete that. Then we have the amount paid 1,300. Right, we still have change here. So what I'm planning to do, I want to make the value of this total cost higher than this. So let me make this to be 30. So remember that we once locked ourselves. So what we are going to do now, let's get back to, let's go and we protected our sheet. So let's go back to unprotect the sheet, and then we use OK here. So we can actually adjust the width of this column here. So we have the insufficient fund, and we are also going to apply, let's apply another conditional formatting. Whenever we have insufficient funds, we should be getting the background here to be red. So and then go to conditional formatting, then go to if the text contains let's say insufficient fund. So it says what? Give us a light red field with dark red color. So let's just leave it this way. So whenever we have insufficient fund, we are going to be having these values. So now let's make it 5 here. So everything is working perfectly well. And then let's say that we have the amount we are paying here is similar to, let's just say 560. And then we can see here there is no change for you. Go back home. All right, so I think then thereafter you can proceed to protect your sheets. You can go over here and then protect your sheets. All right, because we are actually done with building our calculator. 1, 2, 3. I hope you are enjoying what I'm teaching you here. All right, so I believe you've been able to see how to build automated calculator using Excel sheets with some of the knowledge we've had in functions, formatting, and a whole lot of stuff, protecting of sheet. So thank you so much, and I remain Ifyo Kakban, and I'm your instructor in the data analysis in Excel, also in SQL, and some other times I'll be taking in Power BI, and sometimes in some of the Python libraries we have, like pandas. So I would like to see you next time.